welcome back. Welcome to another episode of
Per One
His Only, and today we're going to be talking about a couple of different things pertaining to men and women, some topics that were inspired by TV shows, morning radio, stuff like that. We haven't discussed these topics.
Nope.
We just gonna start talking about it and just kind of see what
comes out.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. What you got? What's the first topic?
So the first thing we're gonna talk about is the whole phase. Is it important? Yes, the whole phase.
Oh man.
Usually it's when you're younger, but you know, we'll just kind of jump in there. What you think?
What do I think? Like, should so are you pertaining it to like should men or women have a whole phase? Or?
Do you agree with a woman having one? Do you agree with men having one? Do you feel like it's important or have benefits? What you think about?
All right, so I jump out there. Listen, I don't think that women should have a whole phase.
You wouldn't.
However, I do think that guys should have a whole phase.
Oh, of course.
I mean, but listen though, before you become critical, guys out there, let me break it down to you. I feel like as a woman, you know, you're gonna want to get married one day, and you know you're gonna have your significant other, and guys tend to take that very, I guess we're very skeptical of that when it comes down to how many men or women has actually been with, and I know that can a lot of times make or break the decision of whether or not they're gonna further their relationship with you. So I think that, you know, I mean, and then we also know that, you know, sex means more to women. Well, that's from what I've heard. Sex is more like an emotional attachment, whereas opposed to sex for men may not be. That's from my understanding. That's not the case. But I think I mean, I guess that translates that. That's why I think the guy should have that whole phase, because you know you don't want them later on down the line. Y'all get together early in their year and early in life, and then later on they start wilding and having sex and with God knows who for whatever reason. So, I mean, that's just kind of what I think.
Well, first of all, we'll get into that. Sex means something for women, but not something for men another time. That's a whole another time.
Please.
But you know, I'm inclined to agree with you when it comes to men having a whole phase. I mean, I think it's important because I wouldn't want to be with you if you had only been with one woman prior to me, or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, or you know. But we won't get into.
Yeah. Why is that though?
You know. Really, just because of what you said. I mean, it was true to it. I don't like how you said a woman should not have a whole phase, because to be completely honest, I think it does go both ways when it comes to the importance of it. Just because you don't want that person to wake up one day, you know, 10 years down the line, 5 years down the line, and be like, you know, I want to experiment or experience other people. I think it's important. I think you learn that it's more. I think you learn that it's more. It's more to it when it comes to just having sex with somebody.
I mean, I agree with you. You know what I mean? I think that we kind of side on the same side on this one. I think that, you know, I mean, you know, you do what you want out here. I'm not, you know, criticizing anybody if they doing their thing. You know, I think that's the word out there they use now is savage. Savage is like going out and doing whatever. But I mean, just, you know.
But I do think now it's a difference between a whole phase and you just like. There's a difference between the two.
What, is there a cutoff? Or is
I think it's a cutoff. I feel like it pertains to when you're younger. Like when you're younger and you don't really know no better, so you kind of stupid a little bit.
But when you old,
you just a hoe. Like men, women are like, oh, you just a hoe. Like you just screwing around.
There's multiple. What is that? So a hoe is that. So the definitions of a hoe is that somebody that's sleeping around with multiple people at one time.
Yes.
Okay.
Somebody that's sleeping around with multiple people at one time. without the intent to build more than just screwing.
I dig.
Yeah. Okay. So our next topic was, does body count matter? Which you have already expressed that, you know, a guy doesn't want a female who has had multiple sexual partners. Is that something that you're supposed to be upfront and informative about?
This is the thing. So
Because they won't.
I'll tell you, it's a tricky situation because, I mean, you need to at least have some kind of idea of the background, or I mean, because that can help you understand a person's nature too. You know, if they're inclined to keep fooling around or whatever. I mean, depend on when they call themselves stopped, I guess you could say. So, I mean, I think that's important, but I mean, also, like, if you guys are running in circles, like, if you guys, say, for example, if y'all dealing with, y'all know the same people. A lot of people know the same people because they went to school together, or college, or whatever. So, like, if you dealt with somebody in a circle that's pretty close to you know, like your someone's friends or something like that, then you gotta let them know. I mean, that's important, but so much, not as much as the, you know, the total number, but you can't. There is a number out there that you're not supposed to be over, but I mean, it's one of them not said type of things. I think it might be like, I don't know, maybe like, it don't need to be over like 10.
Are you over 10?
We ain't talking about we talking about, listen, this ain't about me, y'all. No, I mean, I'm not, I mean, so what do you think?
Personally, I don't think body count matters in the sense of, you know, you meet somebody, hey, how many people have you slept with? You asking them questions like that.
Right.
Because, I mean, we all grown at the end of the day, you know, you've done what you've done. But I agree. I think it's different when you're running in the same circles with people, or it's people that you've known from before and what they've been doing, and, you know, how many people they may have been doing it with. So I think it matters if it's somebody that you knew in the past maybe, but when it comes to somebody that you're just meeting, and you don't have that past relationship with them or know kind of what they've been doing before, I definitely think it doesn't matter as much, because at the end of the day, you don't know anything about them. So you're starting from scratch, and that's what makes it scary, is because you don't know them. But so I don't think it matters if they're new, but I think it matters if they're old.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, jumping to the next topic, opposite sex friends. Do you agree that it's okay for a woman to have male friends and a male to have female friends? And if you do agree it's okay, are there boundaries? Like, just what's your thoughts on that? And mind you, I mean, I already know your thoughts on that. So you're really just sharing it with them.
So, opposite sexes friends. I know I really don't have opposite sexes friends. That was in my contract agreement that I signed when we got married. And no, I'm kidding, guys. It wasn't, but no, it's just.
He's not kidding.
It's just, I mean, it's. I think that, I mean, you can, you know, I mean, depending on the nature of if it's business, if it's just, you know, there's someone that you grew up with. I mean, it just depends on the nature of the relationship, I would say, as well with that. I know it ain't really, you know, you ain't really supposed to have too many new friends. I know that much. I mean, and I'm talking specifically for guys.
No new friends.
No new friends, but with my wife, and you can't have no friend. I'm her best friend. I'm her only friend. We don't need nobody else. This is what we doing. Yeah, I don't believe what you need. Look, we can talk. Look, whatever you want to talk about, I can be a shoulder for you to lean on. We can cry together. I put a pillow in my lap. Whatever you want to talk, I can be your therapist.
Okay.
Nobody but me.
So I don't think that you should have opposite sex friends.
We agree.
Now, there's a difference between friends and associates
Colleagues.
as well.
Yeah.
Now, if it's on some business type stuff, you know, you got to connect, whatever, you know, you working towards something, that's different. We're not saying we don't believe in communicating with the opposite sex. Like, there's a big difference when it comes to that. But just on some, hey, what you doing? Like, how was your day? Calling on some, hey, no. So, and it's crazy because you can have really good friends going into a relationship that eventually just kind of wean themselves off because there's not room for everybody.
Right. I made her quit talking to her best friend when we was dating.
We were 18 years old.
I ain't played it at all.
Time,
so you got to cut all that out. So.
Thanks.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
So why do men cheat? That's another question.
I mean, why do men cheat?
Let me go first. I'm going to go first. I think that men cheat for a number of different reasons. One reason I think that men cheat is because they are just not ready for commitment, point blank period. They aren't ready to just be with one woman. Another reason I think men cheat is because they're not getting what they ultimately need, which I think is the biggest reason that men cheat, or most common reason that men cheat is because they're not getting what they need, whether that's on an emotional level, whether that's on a physical level. I just think that there's something lacking, and that's why they're looking elsewhere. Another reason I think men cheat is because they don't appreciate what they have, and you know they don't have that understanding that what looks good isn't always good. Which, man, I appreciate. Y'all, I'm gonna take this time out to let y'all know. I appreciate that you can be in a room of beautiful women and appreciate the fact that they are beautiful, but know that they probably aren't about nothing. Like, they look glitzy and glamorous because you're out, but at the end of the day, like, they got problems just like everybody else has problems, and I appreciate that about you.
Years of training and learning and experience. Yeah.
So what do you think? Why do you think men cheat?
Well, first off, I think you should also answer the question, why do women cheat? Yeah, before we just have our focus on men. All right?
Okay. Well, the question says, why do men cheat? It doesn't say, why do men and women cheat?
Just put a little slash in there and add the female.
I mean, pretty much the same reasons why I said men cheat, but I think with a woman, it's really just because she's not getting what she needs at home. Like, I mean, I think that it's that simple. I don't even think that. I think that a woman can cheat because you know how you said earlier that you feel like women cheat or sleep with a guy and it means something. You know, I don't think that's true. I think a woman can cheat just because she isn't getting what she needs, whether that's emotional, physical, or whatever, and she's just getting it from somewhere else, not even wanting to be with that other person.
I understand that. Fair assessment. So I think that, and it kind of correlates with what you were saying. I do think that men probably. So when you first are with a guy, it's probably going to be. You're probably going to notice that he probably has two sides. He has a side that.
Bingo.
You know what I mean? He has a side that when he's with you, he cares about you. He's trying to be with you. So he's going to show you his more gentle side. Is that right? More gentle. Mm-hmm. More gentle side. His more compassionate side. He's going to show you everything that you need to see in order for you guys to to be together, which is a good thing because he's willing to better himself in order to show you that he wants to be with you. So don't look at it as in, okay, well, he's being fake or unreal. No, he has to step his game up in order to be that person for you. So with that being said, there's also another side, which is the side that he pretty much talks to his guy, him and his guys talk about, is a little bit more raunchy. He probably, he probably, big booty Judy. Yeah, he might be talking, the lingo might go a little something like that. He might just be, he might use different lingo or say things that he normally wouldn't say or you know what I mean? So I think it's important for women to tap into that other side because, and don't be oblivious to yourself that the other side exists. So you need to find a way to get to know both sides. So when you get to know both sides, then that opens up the lanes of communication as well as I think it helps the relationship to develop. So, I mean, and you'll find out what are those things that he desires that he may not think that you might be with if you were to mention them or be willing to do. So I think that's where most women mess up is not trying to fully understand the person that they're trying to be with.
That is.
I did that, didn't I?
You did.
I know it.
Now, one thing I would say is it's important to also for a guy to realize that she is trying to genuinely tap into that other side because I think it's not easy for a guy to let her in and be transparent as well because, like, I know I used to tell you all the time, like, talk to me like you talk to your guy friends, and like, and he would not do it, and I'm like, I'm telling you, like, I want you to talk to me like that, like, we're best friends, like, I want you to talk to me like that. So, I mean, it did take time, it did, but, I think it's just
piece by piece, get a little information and see what you do with
steps, women don't tell them you want the truth, and then he tell you the truth and you act a fool. So it just,
it'd be back like starting from square one.
It is. So I think, all of that.
And I think women cheat.
What do you think women cheat?
I think that women cheat because, just like what you said, they're not getting what they need out of a guy. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, women have to understand it takes time to get to that process, especially depending on where you're at, right? You know what I'm saying? It takes time. So if it's not, right there and they can grab it, then I think that's probably what would make a woman cheat.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Relationships take a lot of patience.
They do.
A lot of growth. So, okay, last one. Last thing. Can you be too honest in a relationship?
I think that you can't be honest enough. I mean, that's ultimately what will forge your relationship stronger. Like, I think that's so important. I know sometimes, because everybody's changing. Don't be afraid of those changes as you grow older. You might be, different things catch your eye than before. So I think that you have to maintain that level of openness with your partner. Because if not, just by not mentioning something, you guys will tend to drift away and, not thinking, and you just think the other person won't understand, but you'd be surprised. So I think that, you got to try before, doing anything else.
I agree because, tapping into what you said, a lot of times, I'll be thinking something and bring it to you and lo and behold, you were thinking the same thing, so you can't ever think that it's anything too big or too small to bring to the other person. Transparency, like that word means so much in a relationship, especially in our relationship, because, like you said, you are continuously growing and changing, and who we are today is not who we were yesterday or 10 years ago. And so I think it's really important just to be 100% transparent, even if it means hurting that person's feelings, even if, you're scared of what they may think or say. You're doing yourselves a true disservice not to be open and honest 100%. So, I don't think you can be too honest in a relationship.
Well said. Well
Thank
said.
you.
Well, guys, that wraps up our questions. We're gonna definitely let us know below what you guys think about some of our topics. Please let us know your viewpoints. Also, please don't forget to subscribe because you guys make me and Ebony possible, definitely. And Ebony, tell them what we're about to do.
So we are about to go get tattoos right now. I'm
Hey,
excited.
And we're bringing you guys with us.
Yes, so we're gonna film all of that. So that'll be another video coming at a later date. We're not gonna tell you what we're gonna get. It'll just be a surprise, and we will see you next time.
All right, guys. Peace out.